Back to episode 4, and it's all about wealth. If I'm being completely honest, when I started thinking about wealth, I thought it was about just money, how much you earn, how much you show. And I'm not even gonna pretend like I knew what I was doing back in 2020 when I started trading. I didn't. So during COVID, I entered trading with zero real understanding and no structure, no edge, just YouTube videos and confidence. That's all I had during that COVID period when I initially started trading. And that confidence got humbled very quickly, very, very quickly. Nobody really talks about that part, you know? They'll show you the funded accounts, they'll show you the profit, and they'll show you the withdrawals. But they don't show you the months of confusion, the blown accounts, the self-doubt, you know, the feeling of maybe this isn't for me, right? Because you have those stages where you think to yourself, maybe this just isn't for me. But my issue was I didn't understand risk management. I didn't understand position sizing. I didn't understand that discipline is more important than intelligence, right? And the truth is, wealth exposed me. It really, really did. It exposed my impatience. It exposed my ego. It exposed the fact that I wanted results faster than I was willing to build the skill. Those are the things that this journey has exposed about myself so far. And that was like a hard truth to sit with. Because trading will really, really show you who you are. Because wealth is not built off vibes, right? This is not just about vibes. It's actually built off structure. Wealth is built off structure. So what changed for me wasn't motivation, it was actually structure. A 9 to 5 is not an enemy, it's actually capital. And your salary is seed money. But most people don't treat their salary like that. They treat it like lifestyle money. And that shift alone changes everything. When you understand, you know, your job funds your investments and your investments fund your freedom and your freedom funds your time, you know, now at that point you're operating completely differently. So I had to sit down and get serious about where is my money going? How much am I saving? How much am I investing? How much am I wasting on things that are of no use to me? Stupid fashion items that I will do nothing with. So because wealth doesn't care about how you look. It doesn't care about how you look online. It cares about numbers. So things like your savings account, emergency funds, tax planning, understanding liabilities, reducing unnecessary expenses, investing consistently, even when you don't feel like it. You know, I know it's not sexy, I know it's not aesthetic, but it's definitely powerful. And structure creates stability. Stability creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. And confidence changes how you move. Because if you're very confident, you're gonna move differently, right? And that's all you need. So don't say ditch the 9 to 5. If you've got one, keep it. Make sure you use your money and you invest it wisely. You know, there's lots of groups that you can join. You know, you can come along and learn how to invest, learn how to trade, learn how to multiply your money so that your 9 to 5 isn't just sitting in a savings account. And one thing I wanted to say is, you're not saving if you're in debt. If you have debt and you're putting money into a savings account, I don't classify that as savings because you would rather clear your debt off, be back at zero, and start saving from that point going forward, because the amount of interest you're paying to service your debt is higher than how much the bank is paying you in interest for the money sitting there doing nothing, right? Well, doing nothing for you anyway. They're using it for their own uses and not paying you much for that. So yeah, structure is important when it comes to wealth as well. Trading especially taught me this. This is a skill-based game, not a luck-based one. The skill takes time, it can't be rushed, and you can't skip losses. You can't bypass the emotional discipline as well, because it takes a lot of emotional discipline. And I had to learn to sit on my hands. I had to learn to accept losses without revenge trading. I had to learn to size correctly and how to wait for high probability trades as well. And the biggest lesson of them all for me was consistency isn't about winning every day. No, it's about protecting my capital on bad days. And that was what being consistent was all about. And to be honest, that was my maturity with trading. And there's this illusion online that once you learn trading, you quit your job immediately. That's reckless in some cases. You don't quit because you had 2 good months, right? You quit when your trading income covers your liabilities consistently, your savings buffer is strong, and your lifestyle is sustainable. And you've proven your edge over time. That's when I could say that it's a good time to quit. Wealth is boring before it's impressive, and most people quit during the boring phase. Don't be one of those people. There's a moment where your mindset shifts and you stop chasing fast money and start building durable money. You stop asking questions like, how can I get rich? And start asking questions such as, how can I become the person that manages wealth properly? Because here's the uncomfortable truth about it is, if you don't become disciplined before wealth arrives, wealth will leave. And sometimes it leaves faster than it came. So for me, the transition wasn't about quitting my 9 to 5. It wasn't about that at all. It was about increasing my skill level, increasing my financial intelligence, and increasing my patience. Those are the 3 things I know that I needed to move forward. So now the focus is simple: make money, keep money, grow money, in that order, not the other way around. What I do know is wealth isn't loud. It's quiet decisions repeated daily, saving when you could be spending, and studying when you could be scrolling, and practicing when you could be complaining. It's less about escaping work and more about building leverage. And when your investments, your skills, and your discipline can cover your lifestyle consistently, then that's when freedom becomes real, not just imagined, but actually real. And there's members of my community in Divine Nation Academy that I believe have touched a level of freedom where they no longer rely on anyone but themselves to get it done. The next step from that is putting your money into investments where your money is actually making money when you're sleeping. So therefore, you don't have to do too much because your liabilities are covered by the assets that you have, the interest you're making from those assets. And that's like the best feeling ever. So I always say it's never too late to start. It's never too late to start. And start saving, start investing, start trading. It's never too late to start something outside of your normal 9 to 5 to give you the extra push that you need to get you where you want in life. But actually, some people are comfortable and they're okay with their 9 to 5 and they're okay with the life that they have. You know, can't relate. I'm just saying. So those that want to make a change will make a change. And it takes time, but I feel that it's something that everybody can pick up with the right mentors and teachers in place who have gone through losses, understand emotional discipline and things along those lines. They're the best people to guide you, right? Because they know how. Why go to someone who hasn't been where you're trying to get to ask them questions? They're not going to know the answers to your questions, are they? So you go to people who have been, who know how to do what you're looking for, and you do it. Thank you for watching episode 4, which was all about wealth. And I'll catch you on the next episode, episode 5. Thank you for being part of my Reset Diaries. Getting better 1% at a time. Thanks, guys. Bye.